Greetings, family. Life architecture is a structured yet flexible framework for intentional living in midlife and beyond. It combines practical planning, psychological insight, and purpose driven design to help learners build meaningful, resilient, and fulfilling life chapters. The 12-week Life Architecture program is a phased journey from self assessment to lived legacy. Module 1, Foundation and Assessment, begins by mapping your current terrain, reviewing your life blueprint, excavating your core strengths, and auditing your true energy capacity. Module 2, Design and Vision, shifts to drafting your next chapter, integrating purpose, planning multiple future scenarios, and intentionally designing your support network. Module 3, Construction and Systems, focuses on building with intention, creating aligned habits, flexible financial strategies, and sustainable health protocols as your core infrastructure. The program culminates with Module 4, Integration and Legacy, where you launch a real-world experiment, engineer personal resilience, and define your living legacy. Delivered through small cohorts, blended learning, and experiential projects, the program results in an actionable life architecture blueprint, strengthened resilience, and a clear path forward within a supportive community. Specialized elective tracks allow for deeper focus on areas like creative renewal, core careers, or relationship reinvention. Let's talk for a moment about architecture. When you think of an architect, you might picture someone drawing plans for a new building. They don't just start slapping bricks together. First, they assess the land, the soil, the light, the environment. They understand what they're building on before they decide what to build. Now, what if we applied that same thoughtful, creative discipline not to a house, but to a life, your life, especially this chapter, the one you're in right now? That's what life architecture is. It's not a self-help trend. It's not about fixing what's broken. It's a framework, a structured yet beautifully flexible way of designing what comes next. Think about it. You've already built so much, a career perhaps, a family, a history. You've accumulated wisdom that no textbook can teach. But sometimes the blueprint you used in earlier chapters, it doesn't fit the landscape of now. The view has changed, your needs have changed, you have changed. So what do? We don't tear everything down. We take a loving, honest assessment. We look at the foundation, your health, your relationships, your finances, your sense of purpose. We see what's still strong, what needs support, what spaces no longer serve you. Then we blend the practical with the profound, the how-to with the why. We use tools not just for planning, but for insight. Because building a meaningful life isn't just about actions, it's about alignment. Aligning your daily reality with your deepest values, aligning your energy with what truly matters. This is for those who believe that growing older isn't about winding down, it's about leaning in with more intention, more resilience, more clarity. It's about designing chapters that are not just comfortable, but fulfilling, not just busy, but purposeful. Life architecture is the craft of building that chapter on purpose, with you as the architect, your experience as the foundation, and your future as a space of infinite possibility. Welcome to the drawing board. Let's begin. The first week of the Life Architecture curriculum is not merely an administrative starting point, it is the cornerstone psychological and practical ritual upon which the entire program rests. For the mature learner, this review operates on two levels: the inventory of the present and the archaeology of the past. The objective transcends simple assessment. It is about cultivating compassionate clarity, an honest, non-judgmental witnessing of one's current life dimensions, health, relationships, purpose, finances, legacy, to establish a true baseline. This process converts the vague anxiety of what's next into a tangible, structured map of where am I actually standing. It acknowledges that one cannot design a future from a place of illusion or wishful thinking, but only from a foundation of radical self-awareness. This foundational module establishes the essential self-awareness required for intentional redesign. Participants move from subconscious living to conscious assessment, creating an honest and compassionate baseline of their current reality. The focus is on discovery, not judgment, building the self-trust necessary for the transformative work ahead. Let's talk about this tool. Many of you might have seen a version of the Wheel of Life before. It's a classic for a reason. But the one you have in front of you, the Wheel of Life 2.0, is different. It was designed specifically for this conversation, for this chapter of life. Look at the segments. Yes, we have health, finances, relationships, the fundamentals. But look closer. See legacy and meaning. That's not about your obituary. That's about the quiet question. What is my life adding up to right now? And mindset and growth. That's about asking if your curiosity is still alive and well, or if it's been filed away. This wheel speaks the language of accumulated experience. It asks not just, are you busy, but are you aligned? Are you satisfied? Here's how we use it. First, in private, you'll score each segment from 1 to 10. Be ruthlessly kind with yourself. This is a diagnosis, not a judgment. A 3 in finance isn't a failing grade, it's a data point. It's the GPS saying, you are here. Now plot your scores. Connect the dots. What shape emerges? Is it a bumpy, lopsided stone, or is it rounding toward a circle? There's no perfect wheel. There's only your wheel. This is where we go deeper. Look at your unique shape. I'm going to ask you one of the most important questions of our entire journey. If you could improve just one of these segments by only 2 points, which one would create the most positive ripple effect, lifting the scores in other areas almost automatically? Think about that. If you lift joy and creativity from a 4 to a 6 by simply committing to that forgotten piano or Wednesday sketchbook, does that inject new energy into your week? Does that energy make you more patient with your partner, thereby nudging relationships up a point? Does that newfound patience free up mental space that was spent on low-grade resentment, maybe easing your stress and indirectly supporting your health? That is your leverage point. The wheel is not 8 separate compartments. It's an ecosystem. A drought in one area causes a famine in another. Nourishing one can irrigate the whole system. And please hear this. A low score is not a failure. In our work here, a low score is simply an area of greatest opportunity. It's your psyche pointing to a reservoir of unallocated resource, a cache of potential energy waiting to be tapped. It's the part of your garden that's been fallow, ready for the most meaningful seeds. Your task is not to create a perfect, smooth circle today. Your task is to witness the truth of your current landscape with compassionate clarity. This wheel is your first, most honest map. It shows you where the solid ground is and where the terrain is asking for your attention. So take a breath, pick up your pen. Let's see what here really looks like. We've mapped the terrain. We've excavated our strengths. Now, we must ask the most honest, practical question of all. What can you actually afford? I'm not talking about money. I'm talking about your inner economy, your energy, your focus, your emotional stamina. These are your truest currencies. And if we try to build a brand new chapter on an account that's already overdrawn, the whole vision will collapse. This week is our audit. Think of yourself as this glass. Every demand, every interaction, every thought is a pour of water. Some are refreshing, they fill you up. Others are leaks. How many of you are starting each day already half spilled? We're going to find out. We're going to map your energy, not how you wish it flowed, but how it actually ebbs and flows. When is your mind sharp? When does your stamina dip? We are charting the literal climate of your capacity. Then we'll conduct a boundary assessment. We will gently identify the leaks. Is it the unresolved tension that plays on a loop in the back of your mind? The obligation you said yes to out of guilt that costs you an hour of resentment every week? We're not blaming, we're accounting. Because you cannot manage what you do not measure. But the most profound work this week is the permission framework. Because often the biggest drain isn't a person or a task. It's an internal argument, a voice that says, who are you to rest, to change, to put this fence around your time? We will give that voice a microphone, and then we will gently, firmly rewrite the script. We will draft the terms of engagement for your own growth. This isn't about building a fortress of solitude. It's about becoming the wise steward of your own vitality. You are the chief financial officer of your energy. Before we invest in a single new plan, we must know the true balance of the account. We must know what you can spend and what you must protect to build something that lasts. Let's open the books. Let's see what's nourishing, what's draining, and where you truly need to sign your own permission slip. Your future chapter depends on the economy of this moment. Utilize the medium close-up shot to focus directly on an avatar without distractions. Pair it with the medium shot for added perspective and emphasis. The statistics slide presents 3 key data points and descriptions. Time the text animations and use a maximum of 2 sentences per metric to make your point. Similarly, a brief client testimonial quote can be powerful. Keep this to 2 to 3 concise sentences for optimum impact. The 2 pricing plans allow you to clearly showcase your product or service offerings and their benefits,